Something unusual happened just before a live broadcast. You had everything lined up, talking points set, graphics ready to roll. The story was going to revolve around a former Kansas offensive lineman who had recently worked out with the team. There was a buzz around the guy, not because he was a superstar, but because he was back on the radar. But then, right before going live, the script had to change. He wasn't just a tryout anymore. He was now officially a signed player. That's right, they didn't even wait 24 hours after his workout. They saw enough. He got the contract. It all unfolded so quickly that it threw everyone for a loop. This wasn't just another guy getting a look. This was a guy they believed could contribute, or at least someone worth bringing in to see if he could prove himself. Standing 6'4" and weighing 320 pounds, he brings size to the table, no doubt. But let's be honest, his tape is mixed at best. He's played in the league. He has actual snaps under his belt. In 2022, he gave up 4 sacks, added 1 impact play, and had 18 pressures allowed. Not ideal, not disastrous. But his pass blocking grade? 58.9, below average. 3 penalties in 418 snaps. That's the kind of stat line that doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Still, teams are always looking for depth on the offensive line, and sometimes a guy like this, who's already been through the league a couple times, become the low-risk option. No details were released on the contract, but all signs point toward a minimum veteran deal, likely no guaranteed money. One of those prove-it contracts. And in today's NFL, especially for offensive linemen, that's about as standard as it gets when you're not bringing elite-level play to the table. His story is actually kind of fascinating. A 6th-round pick out of Kansas, started with another franchise, bounced to his second team, then landed on a 3rd last season before a knee injury ended his year. He's played both guard and tackle, mostly on the right side. Right guard, right tackle. Minimal reps at left guard, almost none at center. In 2022, he took over 770 snaps at right tackle. So he's been on the field. You can evaluate what he brings. He's even lined up as an extra tight and in some jumbo packages. That kind of versatility is valuable, even if it's just for depth. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to make the team. He's a long shot. That's the truth. But I will say this, his presence creates more competition. He gives them another body in the trenches. With 15 offensive linemen currently on the roster, nothing is guaranteed. Not for him, not for anyone. Right guard is shaping up to be one of the most competitive spots on the roster. There are veterans, there are younger guys, and now there's another name added to the mix. Maybe they see him as a tackle. Maybe they're just trying to light a fire under someone. Either way, it's about options. The more you have in camp, the better chance you've got of finding the right combination. There's also the reality of the draft. 10 picks still to come. 4 or 5 roster spots open. That's tight. It means undrafted free agents are going to have a hard time sticking, and even veterans like this guy are walking a fine line. He has to stand out, plain and simple. He has to show something, power, technique, leadership, whatever it is that separates him. Because right now, the numbers game is not in his favor. The team isn't desperate. They're not filling holes just to fill them. They're being deliberate. They're bringing in guys who can push the room, maybe even surprise a few people. But ultimately, the odds are steep. If we're being honest, the line needs help. It's not just about the starters. It's about the second unit, too. If you're evaluating quarterbacks in preseason, especially young ones, you better give them a clean pocket. You can't make a fair judgment if they're constantly under pressure. So this signing might be less about finding a diamond in the rough and more about protecting the investment behind center. It's strategic. Even if he doesn't make the final 53, he serves a purpose in camp. He helps simulate real competition. Then there's another player on the roster, a guy who's been around, flashed potential, but still hasn't put it all together. His name comes up a lot in internal discussions. Last year, there were moments when it looked like he might finally be turning the corner, especially in pass rushing situations. But against the run, still inconsistent. He's entering year 3 now. This is it. This is the year where he either takes the next step or becomes just another rotational piece. There's still belief in his talent, but belief only goes so far. Production matters. And right now, he hasn't shown enough. I gotta be honest. If you ask me to rate my confidence level in him on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say maybe a 4. Maybe 5 if I'm being generous. It's not that I'm giving up, but I've seen this before. Players who have all the tools, all the hype, but can't put it together consistently. This team can't afford to wait forever. If he's going to break out, it has to be now. The leash is getting shorter. There are younger guys coming in, hungry guys who want their shot. You either rise or you fade away. That's how it works. Some fans are still clinging to the hope that he's going to make a leap this year. I get it. You want to believe in the draft picks, especially the ones who flash early. But the league moves fast. If you're not producing, someone else will. And when you look at that defensive line, there are serious gaps. Yes, they've got some 3-techs who can make plays, but the run defense? That's where the red flags pop up. One of last year's 7th-round picks hasn't even played a snap. He's been on the practice squad. Total unknown. Can you really go into a season counting on that guy? Probably not. This is where the team has to get real with themselves. Are you set up front, or are you just hoping for the best? Because hoping doesn't win games. Execution does. Depth matters. Consistency matters. And right now, those are things this roster still lacks. They've done a good job building in certain areas, but others? Still a work in progress. The next few weeks are going to be crucial. Who steps up? Who fades out? That's what we're watching. Training camp is where the truth gets exposed. Pads come on, schemes tighten up, and all the hype from OTAs fades away real quick. That's when you find out who's got it, and who's just making noise in shorts. Coaches know it. Players know it. Fans watching from the sideline start to see it too. Every rep starts to matter. Every mistake gets noticed. And when you've got 90 guys in the building fighting for just 53 jobs, the pressure becomes suffocating. For someone like this newly signed offensive lineman, there's zero room for error. He's not walking in with guarantees. He's not walking in with a fanfare. He's walking into a room full of hungry guys, many of them younger, some of them more athletic, and all of them chasing the same dream. But this is what teams do in April. They bring in bodies. It's a numbers game. And while the signing doesn't make headlines, it does speak to how this team is thinking right now. They know the offensive line isn't set in stone. The right side is shaky. Injuries happen. Depth disappears in a heartbeat. So you get ahead of it. You bring in someone who's played in the league, someone who stood across from real NFL pass rushers, and you see if there's anything left in the tank. If not, you cut bait before August. If yes, then maybe you just found a swing tackle or a backup guard who can help you win a game in December. There's also a quiet urgency around the building. Nobody's saying it out loud, but the clock is ticking. The front office knows that the margin for error this season is razor thin. The fan base has been patient, maybe more than it should have been, but that patience is starting to wear thin. People want results. They want wins. They want to feel like there's a plan. So when they see a guy like this signed off the street, the natural reaction is confusion. But sometimes these under-the-radar moves tell you more than the big splashes. They tell you where the team still sees weakness. They tell you which positions they're not done tinkering with. Right now, the trenches are being rebuilt. Slowly, but intentionally. You've got returning starters, a couple of new faces, some promising draft picks coming in. But behind that first unit, it's a mystery. You've got players who haven't taken a meaningful NFL snap in over a year. You've got late-round picks with tools, but no technique. And then you've got a veteran journeyman trying to carve out one more shot at relevance. That's the reality of the offseason. It's messy. It's crowded. It's full of hope and hard truths all at once. And then there's the looming specter of the draft. It changes everything. 10 picks coming up. That means 10 new players being added to this already bloated roster. And they're not just any players. They're guys the front office has been studying for months. Guys they believe in. That means someone's job is already in danger. They just don't know it yet. A new tackle or guard could arrive on day 2 or day 3. Suddenly, the pecking order shifts. The reps get tighter. The leash gets shorter. You go from second team to third team with one bad practice. That's why this time of year is brutal for fringe players. They live on the edge of the roster. One phone call changes their life. One rolled ankle opens the door. One poor showing slams it shut. And yet, you talk to these guys, and you see the fire in their eyes. They've been counted out before. They've heard the doubts. They've seen their names slip down the depth chart. But they keep showing up. They keep fighting. Because for them, it's not just about football. It's about survival. It's about proving that all the years they spent grinding through college, through practice squads, through short-term contracts, that it meant something. For this lineman, this might be the last shot. He's not a rookie anymore. The honeymoon phase is over. Teams aren't investing in his potential. They're judging him strictly on performance. And he knows it. That's why you see him working like he's got nothing to lose, because he doesn't. He's been through the rehab. He's been cut. He's had his name dragged through evaluations. But here he is again, signing with another team, putting on another jersey, stepping into another huddle. In the grand scheme of things, this move might not shake the league. But every roster move is a piece of a larger puzzle. Every camp invite is a reflection of what the coaching staff is trying to build. They don't just want 5 starters. They want 8 or 9 linemen they can trust. Guys who can rotate in, stay healthy, and step up when things get ugly. And let's be real, things always get ugly in the trenches. The season's long. Bodies break down. The best teams are the ones that survive the war of attrition. That's why even this kind of signing, as low-key as it may seem, matters. Because 1 week from now, it might be this guy who's in the 2-minute drill, blocking for your rookie quarterback, trying to win a preseason game that decides someone else's future. It all connects. Every player has a role, even if it's temporary, even if it's invisible to most fans. That's the beauty and the brutality of the NFL. You're one play away from irrelevance, and one injury away from opportunity. As for the rest of the room, the pressure is mounting. That young defensive tackle with upside? You got to show something early. Coaches aren't waiting until week 3 of the preseason. They want impact now. Explosiveness in drills. Consistency in film. Effort that stands out even when you're losing the rep, because they're evaluating everything: body language, technique, hustle. Nothing goes unnoticed. That's the standard. And don't forget, there are still free agents out there. Veterans watching from home, waiting. Some of them are one phone call away from jumping into camp. And if this team doesn't like what it sees early, they'll move on. They've done it before. No emotion, no attachments, just business. That's why this window, April through early August, is so critical for players on the fringe. It's when rosters are fluid, when depth charts are written in pencil, when you can rewrite your story if you're willing to fight for every rep. So yeah, maybe this offensive lineman isn't the next All-Pro. Maybe he doesn't even make it past cut-down day. But maybe, just maybe, he does something in camp, a block, a moment of toughness, a leadership spark that keeps him around a little longer. And in this league, that's all you need. One more chance, one more game, one more shot to prove you belong. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In an unexpected turn of events, the Dallas Cowboys have stunned the NFL world by announcing the signing of wide receiver Justin Jefferson from the Minnesota Vikings. This move has sent shockwaves through the league, as the Cowboys have added one of the most dynamic and talented receivers in the game to their roster. The decision marks a significant shift in the balance of power in the NFC, and it could potentially reshape the landscape of the upcoming season. Justin Jefferson, who has quickly become one of the league's premier wideouts, has established himself as a game-changer since entering the NFL. After being drafted by the Vikings in 2020, Jefferson wasted no time in making an impact. His explosive playmaking ability, exceptional route running, and remarkable hands have made him a favorite target for quarterbacks, with his ability to turn any catch into a touchdown threat. For the Cowboys, the addition of Jefferson is a bold statement about their intentions for the upcoming season. While the team already boasts a strong roster, including quarterback Dak Prescott and running back Ezekiel Elliott, Jefferson's arrival provides an entirely new dimension to the offense. The Cowboys have long been known for their high-powered attack, and with the addition of Jefferson, their receiving core now has a legitimate superstar capable of changing the course of a game in the blink of an eye. What makes this move even more shocking is the fact that the Cowboys had not been linked to any significant trade rumors involving Jefferson prior to the announcement. The timing caught many off guard, leaving fans and analysts alike scrambling to understand how the deal came to fruition. With the Vikings seemingly unwilling to part ways with their star receiver, it raises questions about the nature of the trade negotiations and what the Cowboys had to offer in return. This trade also raises questions about the future of the Vikings. Losing a player of Jefferson's caliber is a major blow to their offense, and it remains to be seen how they will address the void left by his departure. The Vikings front office will need to act quickly to ensure that their receiving core remains competitive, and they may now be in the market for a new star wideout to complement quarterback Kirk Cousins. For the Cowboys, however, the trade is a gamble that could pay off handsomely. Adding a talent like Jefferson gives them one of the most feared receiving tandems in the league, alongside veterans CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. With an already potent offense, the Cowboys could now be poised for a deep playoff run and perhaps even a Super Bowl appearance, with Jefferson providing the spark they need to elevate their game to new heights. In conclusion, the Dallas Cowboys' acquisition of Justin Jefferson is a move that has sent shockwaves throughout the NFL. It has not only shaken up the NFC, but has also put the Cowboys squarely in the spotlight as a team to watch for the upcoming season. As the dust settles on this shocking trade, all eyes will be on how Jefferson performs in Dallas and whether the Cowboys can finally live up to their lofty expectations. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.